So we are back, guys, for day 21 of how to gain self confidence in 30 days. And I hope that you have went over the previous 20 days. If you have not, then please go check those out. Hopefully, you've done the questions, you've asked yourself great questions, you continued um, to dig deep to find answers to questions that you already had for yourself. And you are really taking in knowledge and information in the steps to move forward in what you're trying to do, which is gain confidence in 30 days. Um, So I really hope that you're actually going through those days and taking the time. If it takes you more than these 30 days to get through this, that's perfectly fine. You just want to make sure that you are making progress and that you're constantly working to head in the direction that you want to head. Um, so, covering a little bit how to gain self confidence in 30 days. To me, there are four pillars or four foundations to gaining confidence in 30 days, and that is learn yourself, know yourself, love yourself, and trust yourself. And as you learn yourself, learning what you do like, what you don't like. Hey, Keish, what you do like, what you don't like, learning what you will accept, what you wouldn't accept. Um, just learning yourself for you, really going through life and taking the time. We go through life so much and add on so many roles and push so many results and so many goals and different things that we forget who we really are at the core center. And so taking the time, and this is anyone, whether you got confidence, whether you don't got confidence, taking the time each day as much as you can to kind of just get in tune with yourself, getting to know yourself, getting to understand your feelings and your thoughts and your ideas. It's really important. It's really what propel you and push you forward in everything in life, in every situation and opportunity. So you really have to be willing to push yourself forward and keep moving. So part of that process is getting to learn yourself. And then in getting to learn yourself, you start to getting to know yourself. So you have to learn before you can get to know, because getting to know is gaining more knowledge, more understanding. And you can't understand something that you haven't learned. So the first part is getting to learn yourself, your ins and out, who you are, not based off of fiction, fact, but off of factual information that you have um, received from yourself and from your different steps and results that you have pushed forward to do that. And so, in getting to know yourself and getting to love yourself, sorry, I'm sitting in the lobby, so yeah, getting to learn yourself, you can then get to know yourself and begin to study yourself and get to understand your ins and outs. Once again, and not just on the learning point. I say, okay, I understand this, but learning how to work on the things that you don't really care for in your life, and then learning how to um, adjust and compromise and understand not just yourself but others. And it really helps with starting off to getting to learn and know yourself. And from getting to know yourself, now we go into getting to love yourself, which you're on the last day of that part of that foundational piece, which is getting to love yourself. And loving yourself, you finally accept yourself for who you are, the goods, the bads, the ins and outs. You accept that you have the power to make your life better, to change it, to do the things in which you see fit for your life, and that there is no right or wrong answer to it. It's all in how you feel and how you adjust to life. And no one can really guide you on that other than showing you understanding and love But in order for you to receive love from someone else, you have to be able to love yourself, because it comes from the inside out. Nothing really comes from the outside unless you allow it. And it's really kind of hard to accept someone's love when you can't really love yourself or don't understand how to love yourself. And so that's a part of it. And learning and knowing yourself, you get this awakening about who you are, where you're going, and kind of getting clarity on that, on who you are and where you're going, setting goals, really understanding where you are in life. You are able to really start accepting yourself, which was what we're talking about today. You really start accepting yourself for who you are, and not allowing other people to push you against that. Because in accepting yourself, now you're able to understand, okay, I have these faults, I have these issues, I have these situations or whatever, and it's up to you to fix it. But now the power is in your hand. No one can bully you about, you haven't done this or you haven't done that. The power is in your hand. You can choose to be proactive or reactive to life, and that's just the bottom line to it. Now, in being proactive, you're able to constantly cultivate your confidence in yourself, your confidence in your abilities to handle situations, to handle stresses. But you also have to know how you deal with that now. So always look at how you're dealing with things now, how things are going now, how's your self-confidence now. And then realize too that in achieving your goals and achieving just being a better person, a better mom, a better husband, wife, whatever, just achieving certain everyday goals builds that self-confidence. It shows you that what you were told, whether you were told you were a failure, whether you told you couldn't do this or you couldn't make that, it proves those things to be a lie. And once it has been proven a lie to your brain, to your subconscious mind, then you will start to act on what's real, as long as you constantly push that in yourself. And that's the point of getting to know yourself, really getting in tune with yourself. And I said in previous days, really date yourself. Really date yourself, just like you would when you date somebody else and you ask them a whole bunch of questions, and you ask them all about their ins and out their life, how they grew up, all those things. When you really start asking someone all those questions, you're getting to know them, right? So you want to do yourself the same justice and ask yourself all the ins and out questions, and it works so much better because you can ask yourself questions that no one would think to even ask you. You know, be your own reporter or your own, you know, therapist, really. And that's really what self-confidence is. It's being your own therapist and understanding that it all resides on the inside of you. All of what you're looking for is on the inside. So if you put in the steps and apply the things, the tools, the meditation, the visualizing, apply all these things to your life and get a clear picture, a clear blueprint and image of who you are and how you see yourself, then you're able to build that confidence more and more and more. And it just grows and grows and grows. And you will have your days where you're a little frustrated, when you don't feel adequate, where you don't feel like you're moving forward and gaining self-confidence. But as long as you keep pushing forward every day, every time you keep pushing forward, you're gonna start seeing it. It's gonna show. And it's in different ways, and we all are attacking self-confidence in different ways. And so you can't run someone else's race. You have to run your own race. That's really the only way to get through. So you can't run someone else's race. And that's part of it. Understanding this is your race, this is your journey, and this is your life. And you can choose to feel about you in your life however you choose to feel about you in your life. Now, human beings are meant to be successful, goal achieving beings, and we are meant to be at our best and top quality if possible. And if that's you and you want to push forward to do that, do that. And understand when you have to weed out the people in your life that don't want to do that, that don't have the same goals, and that doesn't see your vision for being the best that you can possibly be. Understand when it's time to separate so that you may heal, and understand when it's time to get with someone so that you may have support and extra strength. You never want to isolate yourself. You always want to have someone that you can talk to if possible, or someone that can just listen. That has been instrumental for me in my growth and development of my self-confidence, is having someone there to just kind of listen. And it's more so me getting out my thoughts that's cluttered in my head and saying it out so that I can hear what's going on inside myself. Because sometimes things get so jumbled and cluttered, and we can't tell one thought from this thought or one idea from this idea. And saying it out loud and talking with someone that you really trust and that has shown you to be there in your time of need, in your hour of need, or whatever, you want to be able to open up and express yourself. And everything's not going to open up at one time, but bits and pieces will open up to where you start to get a better understanding of who you are, a better understanding of why you make certain decisions, of why you do certain actions. You get a better understanding of your fears and your strengths and your weaknesses, all these things. And so today, and then what the fourth pillar is trusting yourself. And that all comes along. Each step builds up. It builds, it builds, and builds. So that final foundational piece is trusting yourself. Now you're loving yourself. And once you start falling in love more and more and more, you give trust to whatever you're falling in love with, right? So as you fall in love with yourself more and more and more, you begin to trust yourself more and more and more. Your thoughts, your ideas, your visions, you begin to entrust in your abilities to achieve more than you probably even thought of. I achieve so much more now than I ever thought I would. And it came from constantly working and pushing and moving forward, even when I have a bad day, even when I don't feel like moving forward, when I don't feel like being positive. It's really important to just constantly move forward. So today is what we're talking about, is accepting yourself, and being able to really receive your own love. Um, it's hard to really understand about somebody loving you if you don't feel that love in yourself, because you're like, okay, how can you love me if I don't really truly love myself? And it's like you're looking at someone else. It's like, how can you know me if I don't really truly know myself? You know? And you battle with those things, but it's really all falls back to you just taking the time, and being with yourself, and really, as much as you tongue tied, as much as you conversate and congregate with people, and you get to know them, you need to do that with yourself even more. You need to be able to accept yourself, even if you're not where you want to be. That's part of the growth of accepting where you are, who you are at this time. Not saying you're going to be that same way your whole life, because either you growing or you dying. If you ain't dead yet, then you still got room to grow. So either you're growing or you dying, and you just kind of keep moving forward. Said, I ain't dead yet. So I have time to still accept myself, to love myself, to push myself, and to grow and blossom into the person that I picture myself being. Um, and that took a lot for me because I had to realize that was either I was either my barrier or I was my driving force. And no one, as much as you have support, as much as you have love, as much as you have all these things around you, you have to be your driving force. And you cannot allow yourself to be your barrier. And as long as you stick with that and continue to allow yourself space and room to grow, and understanding that all things takes time because it took you time to get here. You didn't just get here in 2 seconds, and you're not going to get to self-confidence in 2 seconds. But you can build a solid foundation of self-confidence and build off of those cornerstones, day after day after day, and receive and be where you want to be. So that's really it. Take the time to accept yourself. Um, Take the time to give yourself a little bit of slack in reaching what you're trying to reach. It took me truthfully a few years to speak into my life that I'm now starting to activate. Um, but as long as, like I said, as long as you have foundational pieces, you can build anything. And it's really up to you on how fast, how slow. It's really up to you because once your subconscious mind gets it and it switches over, it's really just you not allowing your conscious, pardon me, it's really you not allowing your conscious mind to derail your progress. See, once your subconscious brain gets it, your subconscious brain acts off of habit. 95% of the time, what's in your subconscious brain is what is going to take over. So you have to start to reprogramming your subconscious mind so that your new thoughts and ideas and beliefs and visions of yourself begin to take place. Now, it's steps to that. It's not hard, but it's steps. Meditation is one of the steps that I mentioned in this whole thing. Meditation, vision boards, um, affirmations, confirmations, all those things are a part of that. And as long as you use those tools, you can make success moves every day and probably not even know it. But as long as you do this every day, okay, so you saying like, um, I, let's say you say, I want to be able to speak more with people. Okay, so you just say that every day. Say that every day, every day. Um, and you put into action because you can't forget. Um, Oh, my brain, y'all. You can't forget visualize, internalize, exercise, and materialize. So you have to put in the work exercising. You getting a visual, you internalizing how you're going to feel when you achieve that goal. You're internalizing you putting in the work, which is the exercise, and then you are patient for the materialization of what you are about to receive, right? Um, and that's just accepting it, accepting that this is who you was, this is where you're at, and accepting this is where you're going. 3-step process: accepting who you were, accepting who you are, and accepting where you're going, and move in that direction. Now, if you don't like the direction you're moving, change it. It's up to you. It's all up to you. So you just keep moving, and truly give yourself a break. Give yourself real love, real time, real compassion, and that's really it. That's all we're gonna cover for today. Just accepting yourself, and in doing that, I guarantee you can be like, no one's gonna be able to hold nothing against you. No one's gonna be able to bring, or they can try to bring you down. But again, proactive instead of reactive. You are using your mind to be proactive. You are not reacting to the things around you. And it's a point that you have to keep in mind, to move yourself forward. So work on that, accepting yourself and loving yourself truly from the inside. As the blossoms on the inside, it will for surely blossom on the outside, more than possibly you may see right away, but you have to put in the work. Faith without works, it said, that's one of my favorite scriptures, y'all.